Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's your host with the most, AvrielR32 here, bringing you guys a brand new video, and I decided to show off my face here today with the webcam. I know my hair looks like crap, and I'm growing out my beard. That's because I'm on spring break, chilling out, so I've had a little bit more time to make some videos and stuff, and by make some videos, I mean kind of chill out and make videos on the fly. But we are going to look at this new deck that I've played about 4 or 5 games with now, that I'm absolutely falling in love with, that I really want to build in real life, and it is called Scourge, Fluffal, Burning Abyss. Now, I know it sounds really weird, and it's like a triple hybrid, but hear me out because it really works. So first, we're going to go into the deck list, and I'll explain everything afterwards. So, we're obviously playing a Burning Abyss engine and a Fluffal engine, and we're also playing a Speedroid engine. So we're playing 2 Seer, 1 Dragage, 1 Farfa, 2 Fiendish Rhino Warrior, 1 Graph, 1 Libic, 3 Phantom of Chaos, 1 Rubic, 3 Farfa, 3 Scourge Nolius, and then for the basically random engine, we have 2 Tackenberg, 3 Terratop, the 1 Tour Guide, of course, and then for the Fluffal engine, we have 1 Edge Imp Sabers, 3 Fluffal Bear, 3 Fluffal Wings, and then for the spells, we have Dark Eruption, Foolish Burial, 3 Monster Reincarnation, a Soul Charge, and Triple Toy Vendor. For the extra deck, the original build, which as a side note, I did find this on TCG Player and tested around with it a little bit, and it did just top a regional, so this is the Garden City, Michigan regional build with a couple tweaks here and there. Instead of playing the 3 Downer Magician like all BA decks do, since Beatrice is legal, I end up taking out 2 to throw in Beatrice and Dante Pilgrim at the Burning Abyss, which actually works out very well, which I'll be getting to in a sec. But yeah, so 1 Dante Pilgrim, 1 Virgil, 1 Beatrice, triple Dante Traveler, obviously, 1 Downard, 1 Leviaire, 1 Mega Equipped Engineer, 1 Giga Brilliant, 1 Acid Golem, 1 Nightmare Shark, 1 F-Zero, 1 Grand Pulse, which is good for getting rid of back row, and then of course we have the 1 Break Sword. So, to kind of explain this deck, essentially it's make Norlius as fast as you can and win. I just played a game last night against this guy on DN. It was under unranked, so I'm still just testing around with this, but ended up getting to 1 card left in my deck, and because I had Edge Imp Sabers in my graveyard, I just kept on top decking it. It was like a Farfa. Kept on top decking the Farfa and bringing out Edge Imp Sabers every turn so that I wouldn't lose the game for running out of cards in my deck, because I kept on milling. Plus, I also misplayed with milling 3 from Dante when I had like 7 cards on my deck, and I shouldn't have. So he was at like 2,800 life points. Well, at the beginning of the game, when I actually Norlius him, like I actually banished the cards to bring out Norlius, the 1 Fairy and 3 Dark Fiends. He had 2 face-up Fiendish Chains, a Raid Raptor's Nest, and like a random face down. And then he had 5 monsters on board because he used the Quick Play Raid Raptor Force Tricks rank up spell to take my Dante and put a Force Tricks on it. So he had he had 2 Force Tricks with 1 Exceeds Material, a Fuzzy Lanius, a Ice Beast Zephyros with 4,700, and then like something else, some other random Raid Raptor. So I ended up paying 1,000 to completely nuke his whole board, nuke my whole board. And in case you don't know what it does is you banish a Light Fairy type monster and 3 Fiends. So you know, you've got the Light Fairy in the form of Fluffal Wings. And also what's nice is that Dante Pilgrim is a Light Fairy, and so is Beatrice. It's also a Light Fairy. So that's 2 extra targets for Norlius for you to banish in case you need to actually banish the materials to summon him. So after you do that, you can pay 1,000 life points, send all cards in both players' hands and on the field to the graveyard, and then you get to draw 1 card. So essentially how the play works out is that your main goal is to have like double Dante on board, so that when you Norlius the board, you don't really care about losing your hand. Your opponent's going to lose everything on their board and in their hand. Or like how I just did it first turn against this Cyber Dragon dude. He had a hand of 5 cards. I went first, made double Dante, played out Norlius from my hand because I used Monster Reincarnation to pitch Fluffal Wings, get Norlius to hand, banish, play Norlius, pay 1,000. He lost his whole hand. I got to draw a card, but then of course my Dantes went off. I got to add 2 more cards to my hand, and then in the end phase I got my Scarm and added that to my hand. So I'm sitting with 4 cards in my hand, and this dude top decked a Cyber Dragon Dre, and I just won like 2 turns later. So really Norlius is your main go-to card. So because of that, against the Raid Raptor guy, he had all that on his board. He lost everything. I was able to draw a card, and pretty much I just won from there, slowly but surely. Now, you only want to use your normal summon if you can help it for Phantom of Chaos. And in the article I was reading from Doug Zeef, shout out to you, by the way, bro. You kind of play it unlike a regular Burning Abyss deck. Like, Burning Abyss and Phantom Knights are your worst matchup. But like if you open up like a hand of Seer and Graph, basically what he was saying was that if you can get to Norlius, you're not going to want to normal summon the Graph. Because if you can make Norlius, then nothing else matters. So you'd special summon the Graph and special summon the Seer, overlay for a Dante, mill 3, and then just pretty much go off with Norlius at that point. But I mean, if you can't make Norlius first turn and you're fairly certain that you can't, then just play it like a regular BA build until you're able to hit Norlius. Like it's almost Norlius or bust. Like I was just playing against a guy, I forget what he was playing, but I was playing him the other day, and I played Phantom of Chaos, tried to use the effect of Norlius, and he had 3 back row, and of course one of them was Solemn Strike. So I was just like, screw you, and I backed out of the game. So I mean that stuff can happen. But it's still an extremely good deck. The ability for you to have access to the rank 3 pool, just like any other Burning Abyss deck, is amazing. And also to talk about Beatrice and Virgil real quick, Beatrice requires 2 level 6 monsters, or you can just throw a Dante, have a Dante on board, just throw Beatrice on top, and then pitch a BA from your hand, which you most of the time have. And then her effect can't be activated the turn that she's summoned. But if she ends up staying on the field for a turn, then during either player's turn, you can detach and seize material, send a card from your deck to the graveyard. That's not really important. What's important is her second effect when you're about to Norlius the board. So when she's sent to the graveyard by battle or by card effect, by your opponent's battle or by card effect, excuse me, you can special summon a Burning Abyss monster from your extra deck. Okay, so I was actually wrong about that because I was about to say if it's by your card effect, then you could be able to special summon Al Pilgrim. But no, it doesn't work like that, so I apologize. But regardless, it's still a very good play because it is 2,500 attack, 2,800 defense. So in case you run out of materials on your Dante, you swing for 25, switch it to defense, bring out Beatrice and defense, pass turn, they Raigeki your board or something. Then you can go for Dante, Pilgrim of the Burning Abyss, which it can't be targeted by opponent's card effects. Then during either player's turn, you can pitch a BA from your hand to draw a card. So pretty much, you drop Pilgrim on your turn, pitch a BA, draw a card, goes to your opponent's turn, pitch another BA, draw another card, get effects. And then whenever he's sent to the graveyard, by your opponent's battle or your opponent's card effect, you send a random card from their hand to the grave. So it's extremely good for being able to help also kind of control your opponent's hand. But most of the time, you're not really going to be playing Beatrice unless you're kind of going on the defensive and you don't have an access to Norlius. But if you do, then most of the time you're just going to end up dropping double Dante, playing out Norlius somehow, or normal summoning Phantom of Chaos in order to do it, nuking the whole board in both players' hands, and then drawing a card and basically ending your turn with 4 cards in hand. Toy Vendor is really good also because you can activate it, draw, reveal a BA that you drew, pitch it to the grave, get the BA's effect. If you get Fluffal Wings in the grave, banish it, and a Fluffal Bear, draw a card, send Toy Vendor to the grave, draw another card. It also combos well with Norlius because you can play out the Toy Vendor, and when you go to Norlius the board, you automatically get a plus off of it, which is nice. So it really ends up helping you out all around. Like no matter what's sent to the grave, you're always getting pluses. The Speedroids I haven't really played a lot of. Like I mean, I haven't really been using them as of late, but it is a good engine to have. It's better than the Lightsworn engine that was originally being played by Doug Zeef. He said that the Speedroid engine works out a lot better. Phoenix Rhino is Rhino. I mean, it's good. Soul Charge puts in work. I actually haven't drawn into it. Every time that I've milled, I've kind of hit it almost every time. So yeah, but Dark Eruption, I ended up top decking this against the Raid Raptor guy, and I ended up winning. So yeah, that's pretty much everything for this deck. I mean, the Fluffal engine just works like a normal Fluffal engine. They're all level 3, so you're just able to make rank 3 plays for days. So yeah, but other than that, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I know I kind of ranted on a little bit for about 8 minutes, but if you enjoyed, please be sure to leave a like or a favorite, and please go and test out this deck because it is a lot of fun whenever you get off Scourge Norlius. Anyway, thank you guys for watching as always. Be sure to subscribe if you're new.